working for today exactly what we were working for yesterday and the day before and the month before that and the month before that, because the struggle never ends and the hell never ends. That's the thing that we really focus on, because it's the part of our lives that keep us quiet about it. We get so used to it. We almost get ourselves entrenched in not talking, not being able to talk. We allow ourselves to hit roadblocks. And I call these roadblocks times in people's lives when it's just all so great that they throw their arms up in caution. They say, whatever happens, happens. I'm just one old little me.
HappyHealer, what's the topic for today, HappyHealer?
We'll get into that in just a moment. We're talking about a life worth living always. So you know that.
Of course.
That's always the topic.
Okay.
But beyond that, we're going to talk about the other candidates. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about what they're not doing versus what we are.
Okay.
We're also going to talk about, just like a moment ago when I was talking about these blocks. These are barriers. And when you have a barrier...
They must come down.
It has to. That's what we do every time. We break through them. We don't just let a barrier stop us from the good hard work that we have to do. Instead, we find a way. And we find a way to persist. And we find a way to go on. Because what happens is that's where these people are losing themselves. They're not able to listen to the messages that are actually there. They have the ability to find a better life. And they're losing that when they are not willing to listen. So folks, please, for the life of this country, for your own life, listen. I am somebody who sticks at this job 24/7 in mind, and physically I am staying at it as so long as my body allows. And that is the way we run, because it matters. Some people, they have a hard time coming out of the hell just so long enough, and the hell that they're in is largely created by themselves and by other circumstances beyond their control. But their way of dealing with it is they don't come out of it. They don't want to hear any version. They've been told too many times, oh, there's a magical version of life, but then it never materializes. It's always a lie. So they don't want to hear about your grandiose plan. They just think it's a lie. They think that everybody and everything is a lie and that nobody has any hope. So I do get into this thing of calling people Debbie Downers, and it just charges me up more, you know? Some of you guys, you're so condescending too. You're so quick to just pull out the horrible cards. This is what they do. And they start laughing. Some of them, they have no idea what this is really about, and that this is about a life worth living. So when they start laughing, I'm saying, why are you laughing at your own children, at your own brothers and sisters, because they're working for a better life? The question then becomes, why aren't you?
Well, they're going to find out the truth tonight. The truth will set them free.
Well, that's the truth. Only sets an individual free if they act on it. And so our goal is always to get people to act. So many people, they talk about these things and they have an appetite for that as long as they know that there's no solutions being involved. We can talk till the cows come home. There just can't be a solution. And that's the thing. I come with solutions. And sometimes those solutions are hard swallows, but here's the honest broker of truth speaking to you directly to your heart and saying this. If an honest broker of truth can't tell you exactly what we're about to walk into, and that you can process and agree with that we all agree that that's the truth, and if at the end of the day you still do nothing, well then no wonder why you feel so awful. No wonder.
So they're not happy at all then?
A lot of people. That's the shameful part, and that's why it's so scary for someone like me. That's why I know we have to fix hearts.
Okay.
That's why I know. And a lot of the people that I'm around here, you think they have it any easier than you. That is why I have been the happy healer for so long, because we have seen this on the horizon for just as so long as we have had all these problems. Some people say they just arrived with Donald Trump, but I know different. That's why I voted for Donald Trump. We needed somebody to actually get attention to the real people and to show a difference. But now these same people who helped get us there, they have become lusting for your Donald Trump. It is sick. And now they have to atone to that, because it is them who put him there. So it's them who were nimble enough at that moment to see what would change things. But then they became envious. Wow. And they say they're loving of God, but yet they envy and lust over a man. named Donald Trump. And they're not willing to hear the real truth. But yes, they are, because we have broken through them. Let's talk about Randy for a moment. And he is a nice gentleman here. I call him a hero, really. And he's somebody who has stepped out of his shell to say, this is a guy who I hear him, he's making sense, and I want to do something to show that I'm on his side. But then they get cold feet. They get scared, man. Why do you think they get so scared?
Wow. Because you know why? Because they don't have any money. That's why.
Well, in this case, it's not. Yeah, it is money for a lot of people, but it's not just the people that have money that get scared. In fact, that don't have money. In fact, it's the people that have money that get even the most scared. They have the most to lose. And they're worried about, how is this thing going to work out? Why is everything the way it is? And when you are set up with a couple $1 million in the bank, like some of you have, and you realize that if you do your life wrong, or if you mess it up wrong or something like this, then it can all go away. And they're always putting it out there for you like that. They have you so worried about everything in life, and you are effectively so worried and worked into a box, you're in your own prison, aren't you? You can't get away from the castle that you have built for yourself, because there's always somebody coming in trying to take it away from you. It's a dog-eat-dog world when you have money. So I know that that's not a better life. I already know that. I've been there, done it, and that is actually a depressing life. And if that's your version of good times, well, then America can't have good times, because those times only bring in worse times. And here we have a civil war when we have to be most accepting of truth and the solutions that solve those problems. And we are all stuck in our own corners. And the last thing we're willing to do is make inroads to each other to make that unity possible. So why? Come on into the conversation. We got Jeff here today too, guys. Okay. They're not always up in front of the camera. We all have different roles. We're all doing different things. We all care about this country. And also moving forward into tomorrow, and we're going to talk about some of these other candidates now, but moving forward and into tomorrow, we're going to be having some other folks from around the neighborhood. They've been wanting to get involved and showing up here to your HappyHealer headquarters for President of the United States. It's right here in Orlando, Florida for now. And we are working hard for a better life. So they're showing up and they want a part of that. So you're going to be seeing more of our community members in your own communities. Please, let's come together. Let's come together. And we could start having these kinds of shows and meetings where when we go live, you have your location set up, we have ours, and that you listen and watch what's so important coming out of this campaign, because we do this from the community up. Remember, this is a people-driven up movement. And if you don't allow something like that to work naturally, then all America's options are left at that point is what they put in front of us, and it's up for us to take it. Now, if we expect to have a better chance, we're going to have to do some of this work. That's what I've come to that conclusion. And I've accepted that. Wow. It's something that I have made an oath to my own life in saying, this is a life worth living, Jeff. If I don't get around to doing that, what am I in it for? So, all right, what's going on with these candidates today? Tell me, because I can't stand looking at people who don't have answers, and yet everybody else is looking to them, giving them the time of day, but their answers are so horrible for solving the problems in which they seek to solve.
What about that one guy today that cried and stuff like that on CNN?
Oh, okay, that's right. We did. Andrew Yang. Oh, this is a great guy, actually. I like Andrew. He is just softy, and you know, he wants to do some good things. He's the only other candidate besides your HappyHealer who's for some sort of stipend. He wants to do less. We're going further. We're actually getting the job done. But realize this, Andrew Yang, he cried today when asked about gun violence. Right. In a situation that requires leadership, and this is going to require some humility. The guy did cry. I don't blame that. I cry too, except for when I cry, I have real solutions. And also, I'm not up there myself looking to promote just, I want to be president. That's what these guys are doing. Because if they're doing something else, they'd have real solutions. The kinds of solutions that I'm talking about right here.
Was this kid for real or what?
They were for real.
It was for real.
I mean, if you put them on for an act, how would we know? All we can do is take a person at their face value, and we ask them, please be decent people, and give people the time to be heard, and also be doing the things you're doing for the right reasons, and love.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say anything fake about these condescending candidates and what they represent and who they are, it's because they're not like Dawn, the girl who just showed up here a while ago. Out of passion, she wants to help and do her part, show up and see what it's about. They are not like us. They don't want or need, even like we do. Our lives depend on these solutions. Often they have a way out. And so they're just really worried about their own careers and wanting to do the very best and show that they're the best and willing to hurt and willing to maim. And it's nothing different than what people do in their greed. And that's the part that I don't like. So when I hear him doing that, of course I think to myself, but those solutions won't work. You're putting, every time somebody shows their concern and their fear, you're saying, well, we got to give you security. That means you have to give us freedoms.
Right. Okay.
And that's where we go wrong. One side hates the other, and they start using these freedom. I call it freedom warfare. And we're using this freedom warfare to the point where we have no freedoms left. The left hates the right. Well, they can't shoot them, so well, some of them do anyway. And instead, they go after their freedoms. And the right does the same with the left. They go after their freedoms. So we have to pull away from that. It's so important, and that's the reason for tonight's show. It's not a long one. We're so busy. We're getting prepared for some really big things. We're going out into the community. We're going to be having fundraisers. We're also going to be getting people together and having actual rallies, which this campaign here is ready to do.
Yeah,
we're going to be inspiring people and really showing them. But what you need to do is your part, folks. You've got to donate. You've got to see that we're here doing our part. You've got to do your part. You have to donate to the cause, because every day we are doing a hard job, and we can only go so far with limited funding. You understand?
Not easy. It's not easy.
No, it's not.
Easy.
It takes the wind out of our sails. So we want to thrive. We want to thrive for you.
We need some capital, because, you know, it's so much stressful for us when we don't have it, you know, to get out there, to demand what we want.
It's serious business.
Yeah, it really is, you know, and it's a little frustrating at times.
It gets a little frustrating.
You know,
that's why I am the kind of leader that I stay consistent. Most people couldn't even imagine that we even have a problem that is monetary in nature, because you would think I'm doing so well just staying so focused on the messages. But then people come around me and they just realize the kinds of sacrifices we're making, and they're like, what did I get myself into? This guy really cares. And you know what? It's okay. We make the commitment.
That's right, because sooner or later it's going to happen.
That's right. Because when you're on the right messages and you're doing the right things and you're surrounding yourself by people who actually care, who have been through the hell that their governing has created this hell for us. Remember that. When you and I have to experience this, and these condescending smiles that also say your happy healer is not a real candidate, that's what they would tell you. Whereas I would just put that right back on them. I would say they are not real the condescending aspect of them is real, but the fact that they're running for president is not real, because they don't have real solutions that'll solve our issues. People like us, we have to spend so much effort on trying to gain our sustenance almost on the daily basis just to survive, to do selfless work. Think about that, and it's a reflection of you if you have not helped. Right. Think about that. This is not just on the people you're looking at here and the many other people who are not here, who can't be here, because they help and they do what they can, but they are from another city or another state.
Right.
And if you are from another city or another state or anywhere you are, you can help monetarily. And what I tell you is watch what you'll see. Watch what you'll see. You take that gamble. You've done so much worse in your life with money that was really all of it's kind of ilky, but you have done so much worse, and now let's do something good.
This will be for a good cause. All donations that we use, at the end, things will be changed. It will be better for mostly everybody in the United States.
And you've watched it.
You know, and you know the realities. You're gonna see it.
That's it. You know this.
All you have to do.
How long have you known me for now?
Oh wow! Don't even talk about it. You see I'm getting gray hairs now.
Yes, very long time. And that's just the same is true with all of my neighbors and people because, you know, how many of you even talk to your neighbors? Well, that's going to change in the new world because then it won't be so scary. And we're going to be taking care of people so there won't be all this resentment. So really, guys, I know you get it. I really do know you get it. That we're dealing with serious times and there's all the time in the world to talk about that. But today, we have to talk about these donations because we are working ourselves into a frenzy ourselves right here in the office, just trying to survive on the bare means that we do have. And we're going to just use that and stick with it. We're never giving up. So it's not like you can't poop on us. Some of you could just do it. But here's the thing. Stop. Start helping. Do your part.
Jeff, get on up here. Okay. I need you to get on up here and you know, talk to these people.
Okay.
Talk to them so they can please help us.
Okay.
Because we can't make it like this much longer. But we trying and trying and trying.
We're doing our very best.
Okay.
You know.
Shout out to Frank Taylor's Lifecast, man. I know he's out there listening.
Hey, what's going on, Mr. Taylor? It's great to have you here, brother. And there's a lot of great people. Let's not stump him, but let's stay focused on what we are focused on, and that is you. Please, folks, you have to do your part. And then we're going to grow so beautifully, and you're going to have your happy healer ever so in the moment, and we won't be tripping on things that nobody should in this country trip on. And when we get to where we belong, which is at the White House and doing the right things for the American people, well, then you know you won't be having these problems either. See, because we come from the people and we know what those real struggles look like. We have lived those real struggles and they are disgusting. So we don't want to see that for our people. We know that when people can ultimately be free to do the good work that they yearn to do, that they have the passion to do, but instead they have to spend so much of their life chasing the smallest rewards of sustenance. That is to say, a roof over your head and food in your mouth. Let's not change it and what that means. That is exactly what that means. A roof over your head, food in your mouth, and of course, health. Health. You got to have a healthy life.
You got it, brother.
Yeah.
That's for real.
That's it.
That's it.
We have to have a healthy life. And so we are not doing the work that it takes in order to provide that life for the people. In our campaign, no matter whether we're charged up and we're coming at you 1,000,000 miles an hour, or sometimes we step back and we just want you to hear the sincerity in our voices and how serious the times are. But we have to get on with this work, and it doesn't do itself. If for the greed you're willing to put yourself out in a 9th degree, but for the love you don't do it at all.
Wow.
Right.
That is a scary thing. So don't find yourself in that predicament. Keep with the program. We're going to have so many good ones. It's going to be ending here in a moment, but stay tuned. Come tomorrow and the next day. We have so much coming at you this week, and it's a great week, and we're going to be moving more out into the community. And I'll be hearing you every time you come on and push the message forward, and you make the donations, and you help, and you do your part.
Right.
Don't wait on somebody else. Don't say, oh, when they get their millionth, that means they arrived. No. We have arrived. We have been here for a long time already, 4 months and counting, and you have your part to do. We have ours. We are doing our part for a better future and a future worth living. Are you doing your part? So far, the answer is no. Let's move forward. God bless the patriots out there that are doing their part.
Let's see that 4 months turn into 4 years.
That's right. I like that.
That's what I want.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I know, right?
Right?
4 years, yeah.
All right, let's turn that 4 months into 4 years, folks. You know how to do it. God bless you all. We shall see you soon from your Happy Healer right here in Orlando, Florida. We are running for president because you matter, I matter, we all matter. We have self-value and purpose, and we're taking that purpose to the White House and putting that vision to work for the people. God bless.
God bless.